you? Glad you're here. Today is going to be very short. I have a couple things going on this morning. I have a client coming and a big delivery from the lumber yard and different projects going on and some help coming as well. So it's going to be short and sweet. And I'm going to read from the book. We are at chapter 1, Chi, C-H-I is Chi. To understand the circle of life, we must first understand something about the Chi itself. Chi refers to intrinsic energy or vital energy. Sometimes it is called the life force. It is the energy behind all of creation. In India, it is called prana. Basically, Chi is an existing energy that is the source of all that is. In the circle of life, there is the Chi, and there are the 8 major ways that the Chi flows through the life of a human being. They are mind, breath, movement, nutrition, work, money, friendships, and nature. For those who would like to gain a basic understanding of the intrinsic energy itself, how we get it, how we identify with it, and how we use it, we recommend 3 profound books. Autobiography of a Yogi by Prana Paramahansa Yogananda. 2 of Rasaji's teachers, including his yoga master, are mentioned several times in this book. Yogananda is responsible for bringing yoga to the Western world in the 1920s. He shared this yoga practice with over 100,000 students through classes, workshops, lectures, and seminars. Autobiography of a Yogi is one of the 3 most read books in the world. It offers a comprehensive description and analysis of the science of the Chi as a transforming force in the human existence and self-development. And that was the first book recommended. Second book, The Holy Science by Swami Sri Yogeshwar. Sri Yogeshwar is mentioned quite a bit in the Autobiography of a Yogi. He is Yogananda's teacher. This simple, short book is one of the most concise and profound texts on human development ever written. Among other things, Sri predicted that with the turn of this century, mankind would move rapidly into an age of energy and communication. His prediction was not only accurate, but he made it more than 100 years before the actual events are taking place. It is the coming of the age of energy and communication that now makes sharing the Tai Chi Gong system, a system of energy and regeneration, possible through the existence of this book and others like it. The third book is Celestine Prophecy, and they made a movie out of this. Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. This unique adventure story is written so that the name of the main character is never spoken directly. Every reader is given the opportunity to step into the lead role. When reading it, one often wonders whether the book is intended as a work of fiction or is actually based in fact. The core principle of the book describes how human beings can and do achieve success by raising their personal energy. They do this by consciously connecting to the Chi present in nature. Connecting to the Chi in nature is pure Tai Chi Gong. I think they made it into a movie, and I don't want to misspeak. In fact, coming to understand a human being's real connection to nature was the central focus of the original master of Tai Chi Gong when he developed the system for humanity over 3,000 years ago. History of Tai Chi Gong. It is often assumed that the founder of Tai Chi Gong is Chinese and that everything that happened concerning the development of this system of health and longevity is connected only to China. This assumption is not completely accurate. Based on the knowledge passed down from teacher to student in an unbroken lineage from the original master, the founder of Tai Chi Gong was actually born in India. Over 3,300 years ago, there lived a great yoga master in India by the name of Boganathar. Boganathar had distinguished himself by mastering not 1, but 3 different yoga disciplines. He mastered Kundalini Yoga, which is the yoga of the core energy in the body. He mastered Pranayama Yoga, which is the yoga of breathing. And he also mastered Hatha Yoga, which is the yoga of stretching, strengthening, and conditioning. Boganathar reached very high levels of meditation and samadhi, completely conscious state. And while he deeply appreciated the great spiritual community where he lived, he was also troubled by what he observed. He noticed that many yoga masters, profound adepts, very advanced in their yoga disciplines, often just left the physical body behind to move into the spiritual realms and the invisible worlds. Boganathar observed this practice, and deep inside his being, he knew that something about this just did not make sense. If God is God, then God exists in every dimension. He is equally present. He is of equal light, of equal energy everywhere all the time. He is in all and through all for all eternity. By any logical thought process, and even by applying common sense, this omnipresence must also include the physical world and the physical body. Shouldn't a true spiritual understanding and practice by human beings include the physical realm and their physical bodies also? Boganathar was troubled that the masters he was studying with at that time did not have the answer to this basic question. They could not explain how it was that God appeared absent in the physical lives of many human beings. Sometimes it appeared as if most humans were living their lives almost hell-bent on being anywhere but in the physical universe and their physical bodies. Why were the physical lives of most humans so much different than the other higher spiritual dimensions? One day, as he meditated on this question, he saw a waterfall flowing. As he began to describe the waterfall and the green fields surrounding it to one of his masters, he was told that the landscape he described sounded like it must be in China. Boganathar thought maybe it is in China and in the midst of nature that an answer to this question can be found. So he trekked from India to China and then spent many years, literally decades, practicing his yoga in China. It was there that he coined the phrase fluency of motion. As he practiced his asanas, yoga postures, he realized that the flow of one stance to the next was as important, if not more important, than the posture itself. Boganathar noticed that the stance and the flow from one posture to the next had the ability to milk the energy and prana from nature into the physical body. It was as if he had tapped a source of interdimensional chi that was available to the spirit, mind, and body of the person who practiced this fluency of motion. When he reached this stage of understanding, he became a true scientist. He began to study the waterfall itself. He traced its source. He came to understand how it worked. He noticed that the waterfall is truly a cycle of energy. Energy and water vapor in the clouds that flowed up one side of the mountain came back down through precipitation on the other side. If the water in nature flows like that, and if the human body is also made up of the elements of nature, then could it be possible that our spirit, or chi, or life force also flows this way? So I think in my mind, that's the first time that I have seen, I've heard chi, but I'm thinking chi is energy, like just the God force energy, but I've never had it right beside spirit, our spirit. So it said, that's crazy. So if the water in nature flows like that, and if the human body is also made up of the elements of nature, then could it be possible that our spirit or chi or life force, so he's equating energy to our spirit. Okay, so I need to think about that more. Could it be that the chi, okay, so that's something that like you can meditate on. So I'm reading something and I'm thinking this is the first time I've heard that. If I've heard it before, I didn't realize it, or it wasn't interesting or important at the time. But in my mind, it's the first time that I realized that our spirit is equal to chi or life force energy. So that's something I can meditate and talk to God about and see if this is, get more information for myself. Clarification. I'm not doubting this, but like we can get our own, not everything that everybody says is accurate. I trust Rasaji. I'm not questioning Rasaji. But I'm just giving you an example of something that you can meditate on. All right. As it turns out, Boganathar was correct. It was through this observation that he actually identified and defined for the first time the central meridian or pathway of energy in the body. In acupuncture medicine, this central meridian is called the conceptual vessel. Cool. Conceptual vessel. I need to star this page. I'm so sorry. I need to come back to this page later. Oh my gosh, this whole paragraph. Whew, crazy. Okay, so sorry. This is the vessel or cocoon of energy that actually flows inside the womb of the expectant matter, of the expectant mother, as the fetus is coming into physical being. This is so cool. I've never heard this. And this is stuff. Okay, let's say this is true and accurate, and I feel that it is. If this is true and accurate, that's what frustrates me, that we haven't been given the truth. Like, everyone should know this. It should be taught in school. It should be taught at home, from our parents. I'm just saying, like, if there is a truth, if it's a truth from God, our creator, and this is an accurate description of our body and spirit and energy that, that God gave us, this spirit and energy, then we should know this. Like, we should already know this. So it's like, oh, I'm 55 years old and I'm just finding out something so profound. I want to cry. Anyway, I cry when I get frustrated. So it's like, but even if everybody was told the truth, as a child growing up, there'd probably be some of us to doubt it. So I'm probably one of them. But if this is true, like, we all should know it. We should know this. Like, everybody should just know that. Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is